So now I'd like to call Rebecca back up to the stage. What an amazing day that's been so far. Rebecca, thank you again. Oh, look, a new dress. You look amazing.
I heard shoe request. Well, it's about brilliance and shining. I wanted to embody that and step into it. So beautiful, beautiful. Well, this is an exciting segment that we've all been looking forward to, where we're getting to hear a little bit from each of our amazing authors. Let me introduce our amazing Michelle Callaway. I know you got to hear from her a little bit earlier today as she was sharing about Revelio and showcasing the technology. She is a powerful speaker, #1 international best-selling author, tech founder and CEO of Revelio Incorporated, Revelio, and founder of the Tech with Heart Network and TV show, which is super exciting. And she's been featured in the INC magazine, and she's passionate about helping you be more powerfully connected through technology. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful Michelle Callaway to the center of the stage.
Ta-da! When I was called into becoming a tech founder, that was not my background. Actually, I was widowed pretty early in life, and when that happened, I really didn't understand where I should be going or what I should be doing. So it came in the form of a calling to step into this leadership role of building a technology company and now leading this Tech with Heart network, which is all about empowering business owners to be successful in a digital era, in a day and age where Amazon is just shutting businesses down left and right. I really saw when I was out there demonstrating Revelio that people are struggling with technology. So I want to be that powerful voice saying, hey, look, let's provide a very warm, heart-centered community with forward-thinking entrepreneurs. So my chapter in Step Into Your Brilliance is all about how do you take that leap of great faith, separating yourself from others to help and empower people step into your calling that's usually bigger than you. It's super scary. Sometimes you don't see the path that's right before you. I think of that Indiana Jones where he had to spread the gravel over that clear path that was going to cross him across that chasm. So I hope that my chapter is a source that anybody can indeed step into what you're being called to, because it's not about you. It's about what you're there for, to help and inspire others. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, Rebecca, for being in this book.
Absolutely, thank you. Great. And she's in the very beginning of the chapter. I want to make sure or book, I should say. So her beautiful chapter starts on page 15, if anyone's wanting to follow along. And remember, all of our amazing authors love to sign your books, so don't be shy. Make sure to ask. They'll be happy to do so. So our next amazing author is Sonia, and her chapter starts on page 23, for anyone following along. She's an engineer, a leadership facilitator and coach, wife and mother. She's been mentoring and supporting and coaching college students for 18 years, really helping them grow their leadership skills, which I think is just so powerful. You're #1 international best-selling author, and you have a BS in industrial engineering. Make sure I'm getting this correct, and master's in leadership, and you're passionate about helping people bring their values and goals forward in a powerful way, leading them forward. So please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Sonia Farrell to the center of the stage.
Thank you. I am super excited about this book because it has allowed me to step into doing something different, and that's what I'm inviting people to do. Prior to getting this book, and what I share is my journey of self-worth, and my chapter is really having a brilliant relationship with you, and it starts really with you. I mean, when you go on a flight, the first thing that they tell you is put on the mask on yourself so that you can help yourself first before you help others. And I remember 9 years ago, I'm a accredited values coach, and 9 years ago when I took the values survey, self-worth, the value of self-worth did not come up on my map. And at first I was in denial, and I kept saying, what do you mean self-worth doesn't exist? I take trips, I take care of myself, I eat healthy, but that's not what it's about. It's really about loving yourself first. Loving yourself first so that you can be out there and help others. And the other thing that I share, and my intention for those that get to read this, I have an outline of, let's step in loving ourselves and deleting those stories, those emotional stories that we live now, but they're from our past. And also, not just the stories, but also step into the things that are uncomfortable and start doing something new for yourself. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Great. Okay, and our next amazing author, starting on page 31, is Dr. Kimberly Sher, who we got to hear from earlier today, which is wonderful. Thank you. So Dr. Kimberly Sher is a teen breakthrough coach, expert, and founder of the Academy for Independence. You've been supporting teens and their parents for over 15 years. And just have a real heart and passion to help raise that next generation of leaders and empower them to fully step into all they're called to do and be. So let's warmly welcome the powerful Dr. Kimberly Sher to the center of the stage.
Wow, thank you. I'm having deja vu. So my chapter is Every Teen is Brilliant, and You Are Too. And it really is the first time I shared a bit about my story, being the youngest and always comparing myself to the older brother who was the first in everything, the first to ride a bike, the first on the honor roll. And my self-esteem, I was very shy, and my self-esteem was not at par. And then I got into high school, and it was awesome because then I identified with a rebel, and my grades were horrible. But thankfully, I did get into college. Wasn't sure about that one. And I made a choice that I wanted to go to graduate school. And to do that, I would have to get better grades. So that's what my story is about. And I just want to say that it reminds me of a 7th grader that I have recently worked with. And I have worked with many, many, many resistant teens, seriously, and my track record is fantastic. And I convinced this father, just give me 3 sessions and no problem. Oh my gosh. I have never had such a resistant kid. It was like seeing Kimberly all over again. She shifted on the 2nd session, and on the 3rd session, I was doing an exercise with her. Of course, she was making up all the answers. And then she was yawning, and then it's like, can I lie down on the bed? And I'm like, sure. And then she said something, and I don't know, there was something, and I said it back to her, and she popped up, and it's changed ever since. So, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then our next beautiful author is Hedda Adler. She is a #1 best-selling author, international best-selling author, award-winning author, international speaker, wellness mentor, and skincare expert, and she's passionate about changing our current beliefs around aging, and in fact, she's starting an ageless revolution. Can we lean in? Warmly welcome the powerful Hedda Adler to the center of the stage.
It is really empowering to listen. Everybody up here had struggles to go through life. And so many of us, my clients, they have had so many issues in their unfulfilling relationships, and they were never ready to leave them out of fear. I'm not good enough. How can I make it? And so I was one of them. I was struggling, and when I saw my doctor, and he confronted me that I might have a life-threatening disease. It shook me really out of the chair. And I said, no way, that's not possible. And from that moment on, I knew, I said, what can I do? He said, you know exactly what you need to do. Sit down with yourself, listen to your heart, and then you know. And then I said, I need to divorce. And he had just had a smile on his face. So after 30 years, I was 67 years of age. I was threatened to end up with nothing. You have no family. I mean, it was really a scare tactic. And the only thing I could think, I need to preserve my life. I have to get out of these threats. So we did, finally. And it was an experience so elating. It was like a dark wall was lifted up, and I could breathe. So then I started to change my life. And what happened, eating consciously, being with Hedda, and all of a sudden, it felt like, oh my God, there is so much more I can do. And when I changed, I feel like 30 again, and I have to say, I was so excited. I love everybody to have that. So I'm dedicated to help reverse, really, mindset and body. Sorry. I could go on much longer.
Thank you, Hedda. So to learn more, Hedda will be happy to share.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Sure. And I'm excited. This is the first time we've met in person, so it's really nice to have energy and live experiences together. This is Reverend Laura Jackson Liu. I'm really excited to introduce her to you. So she is a new paradigm thought leader, transformational presenter, beautiful musician, #1 international best-selling author, nationally recognized as a speaker consultant around speaking and teaching around the new paradigm and thoughts. How can we do that? And she's passionate about helping all of us co-create the new paradigm. It is the time. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful Reverend Laura Jackson Liu to the center of the stage.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here today. And, you know, we're talking about brilliance and all this beautiful brilliance in the room. It's been incredible. And when we look around the world, though, we see programs that are about your lack of wholeness, your brokenness, all these problems, right? And I don't know about you, but, you know, I can relate to some of that. So my chapter is entitled, "You Are Already Brilliant," because it is not something outside of you. It's not something you have to learn. It's not something that you have to do. So knowing that, enter universe, stage left. So maybe you're familiar with sometimes the universe really conspires, you know, on our behalf, even when it doesn't feel like it. So several years ago, you know, in my chapter, I share part of my story where I made some decisions to change some things in my life because they weren't serving my highest expression. And then the universe decides to clear the rest of my slate clear. Maybe, I don't know if that's happened to you, but you know, the question is, who are you when you've lost all your identities, right? Who are you? What's left? And I chose those things because I chose myself. And now, standing here today, I can't begin to tell you all the blessings in my life, because I made room for that. So this whole book, my chapter in this book, is about the fact that you are already it. There's nothing that you have to do. You can choose to step into it. So I'm so grateful to have been a part of it. There's so much more possible, infinite possibilities. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now to catch everyone up, because I stopped saying the pages where the chapter started. So Dr. Kimberly's chapter started on page 31. Hedda's chapter started on page 41. And Reverend Laura Jackson-Lew's chapter started on page 51. So I want to make sure I'm doing all of the updates I promised. And I'd like to give us all a moment to just kind of take in what was shared. That was section 1 of this beautiful book. We have 3 sections. They take you on a journey from discovering your brilliance to claiming your brilliance. So the first group that you heard from was helping you discover your brilliance. This next group is going to help support you in claiming your brilliance. And then the third group is going to be helping you step into your brilliance and shine, sharing your brilliance out. Sophie, can I take a moment to introduce you? So come on up here for a moment. Come on, Sophie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So happy to be with you.
I'm excited to have you joining us. So I wanted to take just a moment because Sophie is someone that we had hoped to have on our success panel, so hopefully we'll be able to do that at a future date. But she came in all the way from the French Alps to be with us.
Thank you. Thanks. It's an honor to be with all of you today. I was able to do it. I'm arriving late. I'm really sorry for that. But I connected with you in the plane. It was full of light. I felt the hologram, the energy. It was incredible.
I love it. And she's the creator of the Step Into Your Brilliance candles that we sent a couple of emails out about. Your Brilliance is the correct title.
Yes, it is
Correct title of the candles. And so those of you who did purchase one in advance, you can connect in with Sophie, and she'll make sure that you get one. And I didn't know if there's anything you wanted to share about the candles, and then we'll...
Yeah, about the candles, I decided today, if you allow me, that I created a meditation with the candles. It was my way to bring something with me today. And I would be very happy to provide the link for the code if everybody wants to listen to, it's a 28 minutes, and it takes a little part of each of the co-authors of the book I was honored to be part of, with your titles and your energy. So just that's my little thing to bring from French Alps.
So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome. We're excited to have you here.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Sure, absolutely. So go ahead, we'll have you. So Gracie, your chapter is first. Starting on page 63 for anyone following along. So Gracie Miller is a certified career and life purpose coach. She's a #1 international best-selling author, and she wants to help you stop settling. She wants you to fully step into a life you love, and she's passionate about that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Underlined. And you're even coming forward, bringing that message during your birthday week.
Yes.
Celebrating with us, which is very exciting. So I love that. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And let's see, I wanted to make sure I covered. She wants you to love your life, and is passionate about that and all the freedom that you can experience when you do fully love your life, who you are, and how you're being in it. So please warmly welcome the great, amazing, and fabulous Gracie Miller to the center of the stage. Woo!
Thank you, everybody. This is so fun. I'm so glad to be here with everybody. So who here has ever had a limiting belief affect their life? Oh my goodness, I have too. So I work with people who are trying to change their lives, typically through career. So I predominantly do career and life purpose coaching. And what I've noticed with a lot of people is that what is stopping them is not that they aren't capable of doing what they want, it's that their limiting beliefs keep them from knowing what or how to do that thing that would bring them the greatest joy and light up their life, right? So that's why I wrote my chapter about killing your self-doubt to live your dreams. It's a little violent, the title, I admit it, but that's okay. Sometimes you gotta kill your doubts. So I'm just gonna read a really short passage. Self-doubt isn't actually something to be concerned about. It's extremely normal, but it needs babysitting. Believing in your fears more than you believe in your dreams is the mental equivalent to leaving a 5-year-old in the house alone all day. He will destroy the house. Don't worry, you can rebuild. You can begin to rebuild with the following thoughts. What's the absolute best that can happen? What has worked for me to make a big change or tackle a challenge in the past? How can I apply that now? Who's on my team, my support? Because you're not in this alone. What would succeeding look like? How will I feel when I've reached my goal? How will it really feel? And last but not least, what would your alter ego do? And in the chapter, I talk a little bit about Beyonce's alter ego, Sasha Fierce. So have fun with that, everybody, and thanks so much for having me today.
Great, thank you. So that was Gracie Miller. Her chapter started on page 63. We are now going to talk with Dr. Michelle Pedicula, who her chapter starts on page 85. So Dr. Michelle, so we scoot to the front, is a #1 international best-selling author. She is an award-winning national speaker, PhD in sociology and psychology, 18 years plus experience helping people through major life changes and transitions, passionate about helping you live and die without regrets. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Dr. Michelle Pedicula. Yay!
Thank you. I really valued working in this book. Every time I write in one of these books, I have more insights about my life. And what I want to share with you is the moment of epiphany when I decided to reclaim my brilliance. And I have to admit that it took me nearly 48 years to realize that I had lost it. I was sitting with my mother. My mother was dying of breast cancer. My mother was a toy designer. She was a woman who had lived her passion, to my regret, because I felt abandoned and neglected. We were sitting in her studio going through papers. I picked up a photocopy of one of her designs and asked, "Do you need this anymore?" My mother looked at it and sighed. "I guess I'll never finish that project." Her words pierced my heart. In that moment, I understood what deadline really meant. A complexity of feelings rushed through me. I was afraid. I took the paper back and said, "We don't need to do this right now." Instead of holding space for her, to explore her regret, to face her dying, I shut her down. That moment of intimacy was lost forever. She died 2 weeks later. My mother's moment of regret became my moment of regret. It was her parting gift. Because in that moment, she transmitted to me the most important message of her life and mine. Live without regret. The experience catalyzed me. I would not live with regret. Henceforth, I would follow my passion. Thank you.
That's Dr. Michelle's chapter, which started on page 85. So now we have Sophie that is joining us, and her chapter starts on page 95. Sophie, I want to share what I prepared. She is a mindful therapy facilitator, mindfulness coach, innovative consultant, and product developer, like the candles that she developed for us. She created the candle, and I love what she does with her candles, her mindfulness candles, like what you did for ours. You created a meditation that's personalized to the candle and woven the energy of all of us. All of the candles that I know are created from the organization have meditations that help people go deeper and have a mindfulness. So there's also always a mindful purposefulness in all the products you develop. And I love that. I think that's beautiful. She is absolutely, and she's passionate about mindfulness and purpose in our everyday life. Please warmly welcome the amazing Sophie Rumias to the center of the stage.
Thanks, Rebecca. Well, I always think that it will be easy to speak in front of an audience, and I realize it's not easy. And that's why my chapter is about voicing the soul. And because I felt so difficult in life to voice, so I decided it will be easier to help people to voice their own soul. So I started step by step to find back my own voice by helping others. And I realize it's often the case that we will help people to realize something. In the same time, we help ourselves. And what I'd like to share today, because I'm better perhaps at writing than talking, I'd like to thank Rebecca, because I think I was really meant to meet you. When I was 13 years old, I was one evening, it was a summertime in June, I was watching stars on the moon, and it was not so easy in my family life. And something said to me in my head, at first perhaps it was, I don't know, a little voice of a higher self or God or light, and said to me, don't worry, one day all these difficulties will be transformed, because you will share with people, you will be able to recognize in people their difficulties, and then it has a purpose. And finally, when I received the email from a best friend of mine who forwarded the email for talent speaker research, and I realized maybe it's my time to voice also myself. And so I answered. You gave me the opportunity to talk to a radio show of yours in January, beginning of the year 2018. And that was my real step to allow myself to speak in front of people. And so today I want to give pride to all of our inner child, because we received a beautiful meditation from Kimberly. And I'm sure there were so many beautiful moments in the day. And thank you to the inner child to show us sometimes the dreams, who would remind us sometimes the dreams we wanted to realize. And today, I must say, I'm realizing the dream of this little girl who wanted to transform challenges in life. So thank you, and let's voice your soul. Don't forget all the time. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So that was Sophie, and her chapter started on page 95. So I want to give you a moment. Take a breath. Jot down any thoughts, notes that spark your heart and spirit. So I was just feeling into this chapter, and I want to even see, as you're experiencing the shares from each chapter, are you feeling that energy build of discovering your brilliance, claiming your brilliance? And then this group, their chapters focus on sharing that brilliance, owning it and shining and sharing it out powerfully. So I want you to be listening for those tips and ways that we can do that on our journey, as our amazing co-authors share. So our first co-author is Nina, who we've gotten to know more and more today, which I just love. This is our first time meeting in person too, so I'm excited that you're able to be here and join us and share your heart and your energy and from your chapter with us today. So I'm excited about that. So Nina Pedicula like tequila, I'm getting it, Tequila, Nina Tequila, is an intuitive spiritual success coach, an abundance coach, certified law of attraction coach, inspirational speaker, and #1 international best-selling author, passionate about helping you use your intuition and the law of attraction to achieve your highest potential. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful Nina Tequila to the center of the stage. Woo!
Thank you. I am very grateful for this opportunity, Rebecca, and I am grateful for everything that's ever happened in my life. It's my personal belief that we are on a hero's journey. And I spent decades looking back on my life, looking back with regret, with guilt, and just questioning, why? Why do these things happen to me? And I'd like just to share part of my book, Becoming Who You Were Meant to Be. The universe has a way of guiding you back to your highest path when your parents, teachers, or society may have led you astray. Ignoring the signs from the universe, telling you to change your course, will keep you repeating the same patterns, eventually followed by a breakdown, a breakthrough, and a spiritual awakening. I had to question why I got childhood cancer, why I had the bad relationships, why I couldn't get ahead in life. But one day I realized that every experience has meaning, and it made me who I am today. I can now help people overcome the same circumstances with compassion and with empathy. And I've stepped into my purpose, and I'm so grateful for the universe connecting with it, me with it, for pushing me off my course and leading me to my highest path, which meant becoming who I was meant to be in this life. And I would just like to gift you all with a discovery session where I do an energetic healing and give you insight into the block that may be stopping you from achieving your goals in the past. And if you'd like to participate in that, just leave your email with me, and I would be just so happy to gift you with some insight that could lead to your breakthrough.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. Yep. Either direction is fine. So that was Nina, and her chapter started on page 107. And then we have our Cynthia, who we got to hear from this morning, which is wonderful. And her chapter starts on page 117. So Cynthia is an international best-selling author, an international speaker coach, and global, I want to say collaborator. That's what keeps wanting to come out. So global collaborator.
That's true too.
global visibility influencer, and absolutely passionate about helping you share your message and reach your people. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful Cynthia Stott to the center of the stage. Woo!
Remember, I was Miss Wiggles. And I wasn't just afraid to speak. I was afraid of visibility. I was afraid of heights, and I've done a 17-story bungee jump and loved it. I was terrified to dance. I danced in the corner in the dark, and now I'm known internationally for my dancing on stage. And my final one was spiders, and I've made peace with them, but they're not my passion. And I share about that in my chapter. And I also share about what shifted the final, hell no, I won't go, I want courage. And that was the day that my college sweetheart, I came home from a business trip. We'd been married for 13 years, 7 years and been together for 13 years. And I came home and he was dead at 38 years old. And that changed the course of my life, and I literally would not be on this stage without that shift. And it was the hardest thing I ever went through. In fact, for 21 days, I cried myself to the point of dehydration. Literally, had no more tears, drank water, and cried again. My father-in-law said, just dump it over your head. So I say to you, be courageous, because your message needs to be shared, and your people are waiting for you. Thank you.
I switched sides. Thank you.
Thank
That's right. Ta-da. Great. Thank you. So that was Cynthia Stott, and her chapter started on page 117. And then we have our beautiful Janice Edwards, and her chapter starts on page 125. So Janice, welcome. And you can come on up too. It's all good. So Janice Edwards is an award-winning talk show host, Emmy-nominated producer, media coach, #1 international best-selling author, president and CEO, that's right, of Edwards Unlimited. Her TV credentials include NBC Bay Area, Cron 4, and Create TV. Her 1,200 plus interviews that she's conducted, just to name a few of the people that she's interviewed: Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Deepak Chopra, Robert Redford, and John Travolta, and that's just naming a few. And recently, there's more, and recently, you were inducted into the Black Legends Silicon Valley Hall of Fame.
Oh, thank you.
And she is passionate about you bringing your message forward so that you can serve as you are called to serve. Please warmly welcome the powerful Janice Edwards to the center of the stage. Woo!
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rebecca. Isn't Rebecca amazing? Absolutely. Thank you. Well, I'm excited to be here. I've loved the day. I've loved connecting with some of you. And the title of my chapter is It's Showtime. It's Time to Shine. I started explaining that someone wrote a theme song for my show with my name in it, Janice Edwards. It's showtime, it's time to shine. And I say that to all of you. Put your name in there and say it's showtime. It's time to shine, because that dance between visibility and wanting to retreat is something that most of us know. And what I discovered is that when you have places where you can retreat, it's easier to be visible. And when I work with people as a media coach and on the VIP days and in doing videos, it's so that people create safe places where they can shine, and then also know that they don't have to be on all the time. You can connect, you can give your message, and you have a powerful gift for which the world is waiting. So one of the things that I share in my chapter is that there are two of the 5 keys to being the star in the talk show of your own life. One is to prep for your inner close-up, everything you need to feel whole, complete, and happy when you're sharing. And 2, cut toxic guests from the roster. They don't deserve the place. Kick them off the sofa. And so I talk a little bit about who those toxic guests might be. You know, there might be other people. Sometimes it can be your thoughts. Sometimes it can be things to which you're allergic. But whatever it is, claim and decide for your destiny that you're moving forward, and know that you deserve it. Not just think it. Shift into knowing. And that's part of really shining. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. Those are amazing authors of Step Into Your Brilliance. Can we give them a round of applause? Each of you shared beautifully and powerfully. I know as you read each other's stories, each other's chapters, and you read what these amazing authors have to share, you will be inspired, you'll be encouraged, uplifted, and then you'll be ready to share out. And that's the journey they take you on. So I hope you enjoyed meeting them. I hope you lean in and get your book signed, get to know them a little bit. They're very powerful and committed to helping you step into your brilliance and claim all that you have so you can bring all of who you are forward. Beautiful.